Okay guys, so I'm sure we've all seen the news, and I just thought I'd take this moment to talk about what Dragon Ball Z means to me, because this is a show that on the surface some people might look at Dragon Ball Z and be like, oh, it's a cartoon or it's an anime, and just dismiss it. But Dragon Ball Z to me is one of the best TV shows there is out there. You know, when everybody loved Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones was the big thing everybody was talking about, I'd always say that, man, Dragon Ball Z is just as good, if not better than something like Game of Thrones. The character development, the storylines, you've got storylines that are in Dragon Ball Z that are as good as things like the Terminator, or you've got the Dragon Ball Z franchise as a whole is as good as something like the Rocky franchise if you want to compare it to a fighting franchise. But Dragon Ball Z on the whole, it taught me things like the power of friendship, the power of family, doing the right thing, being a good person. And that's crazy that all that came from a TV show that I watched when I was like 8 years old. There probably isn't a day or at least a week that goes by that I don't think about Dragon Ball Z and something that's going on in that world. Whether it's what could Gohan be up to today, what cool stories could Goku and Vegeta be doing, who could Piccolo be training, what are Goten and Trunks going to grow up to be like. There's so many cool aspects of Dragon Ball Z that, like I say, this is a show that I watched 20 years ago and I still think about it to this day. Dragon Ball Z is one of the most impactful things that I've ever seen in my life, content-wise, that I've took in and has impacted my life going forward. And like I say, that's just crazy that it came from a TV show. Akira Toriyama is going to be deeply missed. It's crazy and sad that we're not going to get no Dragon Ball material that comes from the mind of Akira Toriyama. It's one of those things where I woke up this morning and I just saw it on Instagram, and man, what a blow. You just don't expect these people to pass away. I never even thought about Akira Toriyama passing away. He's one of those guys where you think, oh, he's just going to be there forever, and now he's gone. There are millions of people who appreciate his work, and honestly, I don't really know what much more to say, but I just wanted to let everybody know what Dragon Ball Z means to me and the work that Akira Toriyama did. Fantastic characters, fantastic character designs, fantastic storylines, just some of the best stuff, best content material out there is in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. These shows were amazing. I'd love to know what you guys think of Dragon Ball Z and just Akira Toriyama's work in general, whether it's Super. I know he wasn't necessarily involved in GT, but I think he still designed like Super Saiyan 4 and things like that. Like I say, there's just a bunch of stuff in Dragon Ball Z that's, it's just good, and it always had a good message of like doing the right thing and being a good guy like Goku. So yeah, man, sad news, but like I said, I'd really like to know what you guys think of Dragon Ball Z.